It's Valentine's Day week here, and it's about to get sappy as we do a little bit of a love letter to Titanfall 2. We just pushed into Generation 3, which is crazy to me. I have a hard time believing that because when I bought this game back in like October, I didn't really know what to expect out of it. I liked Titanfall 1, but I had no idea that this game was going to be, like, for me, one of my favorite shooters in years. And I'm trying to figure out why it captures so much fun. I think I figured out, like, little elements and reasons why this thing is such a fun shooter for, like, everybody who picks it up. By the way, the opening of this game is insane. It's like a 20 kill streak. I get really lucky with, like, the spawn trap. So much fun. And Scorch later in this gameplay. Been doing a lot of attrition and pilot v pilot, but if you guys are just using Tone, do yourself a favor. Pick up another Titan. Yes, I know, Tone is so fun and so strong, but some of the other Titans in this game are a blast to play with. So, when I got this game, I was the only one in my friend group who got it at launch, right? Everybody else was sort of like meh about it, but over the course of the last few months, more and more of them have picked it up, and every single time, like, we've gone through the same conversation. Yo, this is like really fun, man. It captures that old school arcade feeling that, to me, like the golden era of console shooters, which was like COD 4, MW2, Black Ops, like that time span, wow. That time was so fun for shooters. If you guys remember Nexus on the 360, shout out. That was such a cool game too. But this game, like Titanfall 2, there's something about it to me that is so perfect. And I think the last 2 or 3 years with shooters have had a real shift towards skill-based matchmaking, playing against people that are exactly on your skill level, and it's all about the competitive side of things. And great, that's awesome. You need that in some games. But you also need just the grab bag arcade one more quarter feeling that this game delivers. Not only that, I think Respawn nails that feeling that the original, like, Bungie devs talked about with the earlier Halo games, where let's come up with a really fun 10 to 20 second gameplay loop that is just super addictive, and then let's rinse repeat. Let's let the player experience that gameplay loop over and over again. And that to me is Titanfall, because you've got the Titan mechanics and then the on-foot mechanics, and both of which embody so much fun. And there's a huge skill gap in this game. Huge! The more you play, the more you learn about the movement system, and if you've actually matched up against like Gen 9, Gen 10 players who are strong, it's a totally different game, and it's like really fun when you're battling on edge. But I kind of love that there is like no skill-based matchmaking here. I like that it's just a grab bag, that it's fun. It takes me back to what brought my interest into shooters in the first place. Competitive games are great, right? If you're really into, let's say, Halo or Overwatch or Counter-Strike, those are awesome, fun games, but they definitely have a bigger emphasis on the competitive side of things. And for me, that's not what, oh, that is sweet. For me, that is not what shooters are always about, or what got me like hooked in the first place. Right when I was starting the YouTube, I was mainly playing a ton of Black Ops 1 and Halo Reach. And I wasn't playing for competitive reasons. I was playing just straight up for fun, grinding boatloads of team snipers or grinding a ton of just like team deathmatch and domination with my friends. And with this whole push towards like the skill-based matchmaking era, whatever you would call this, it's kind of separated me from my friend group, because some friends are better than me and some friends are worse than me. And when you go into games that have really tight skill-based matchmaking, you don't want to play with somebody who's really different in your skill level. Whereas a game like this, I can play it with anybody, man. Respawn has just nailed that feeling of progression consistently that makes me want to go to the next generation. When I got the game, I was like, I'm not going to Gen. Who needs to do that? I don't need to prestige. That's no big deal. And now I'm thinking, like, I want to get to Gen 6 or 7 by the time, like, halfway through this year comes, or whenever the next, like, big shooter or next distraction comes about. I forgot to put my cell phone on vibrate. That was the ringer going off there. Amateur hour, I know. I don't see myself playing Titanfall 2 or loving it to death in, like, a year from now. But the initial release and the like time that I've put with it so far has just been so rewarding. I don't know how to put my thumb on it, but Respawn has a fun factor there, and it's everything added up between like the arcadey feel, the constant sense of progression in the post screen, how long you sit in between matches. You just go and you go and you go. It reminds me so much of those older Call of Duty games that glued you to the couch with your buddies for a long time. Again, I don't see myself loving Titanfall 2 to death in a year. I don't know if it has that kind of lifespan in it, but whatever it's doing, I like it. It reminds me of some classic era shooters. If you guys know what I'm talking about, sound off in the comments. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, still sound off on the comments. I'd like to know if you're playing this game, what gen you are. I'm talking to some of my buddies on like the YouTube comments. Some of you guys are like Gen 8 and Gen 9, which is crazy. That's awesome, and I'd love to hear about it. Or if you're just starting out, or if you haven't even played the game. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. We'll check in later this week and try out some of those other Titans. Seriously, like the Scorch, this is so fun. It's not Tone, it's Scorch. See ya. Have a good day.